I'm going to tell you why I believe this movie served in part to normalize what it is we're seeing in the Epstein files. I want you to pay attention to the way that this flower looks as we read this review. Blink Twice movie is a genre-bending exotic ride. Zoe Kravitz's directorial debut with a captivating cast keeps you on the edge of your seat the whole time. Twists, tension, and tropical vibe. And why does it not surprise me that that kind of review would come from the film critic and Celebrity Interview Moviegoers Society co-host, who is also a Critics' Choice member? And reviews like this that talk about this movie being as delicious a rape revenge film as we have had in recent years. Delicious. And giving the revelations in the files where Jeffrey Epstein's talking about his trumpet plants at a nursery also makes me wonder if the movie Blink Twice was to facilitate in some way the normalization of what was to come at current time. And when I say normalize, I mean because at the end, the retribution, the retaliation that is used against those who did this to the victims is seen as justified, right? Well, it's okay if it's being used against them now. How about we come together and say it's not okay to be used against any human being? Here is what the non-fictitious plant looks like in real life. Datura is a genus of 9 species of highly poisonous vespertine flowering plants belonging to the nightshade family. They are commonly known as thorn apples or jimson weeds, but are also known as devil's trumpets or mad apple. Now, again, in the movie, the fictitious plant that looks in many ways similar to the real plant was called Desideria, and it was an island native flower that was processed into a potent perfume as well as being mixed into food, drinks, and other stuff to cause severe memory loss and suppress traumatic memories. Suppress traumatic memories. How many times have we heard this from the victims, the real life victims of the abuse committed by these people in this movie, right? I mean, are the similarities, is it just coincidence? Or was this movie actually portraying what is happened and what is being revealed in these Epstein files? Because nothing about what happens in that movie is delicious. Nothing about what happens in that movie that is eerily aligned with an island, a tropical vibe, and everything that we're seeing that's being revealed in the Epstein files is fucking delicious. Nothing that happened to any of these victims is delicious. You cannot locate this 5-page file any longer. It has been taken away. And I have my suspicions as to why that is. If you didn't see this particular file, this was a woman named Christine Constantino that is revealed at the last page. And in parentheses was the name Maya. And she gives this insane, sometimes very detailed description of what happened to her. She names people like Donald Trump, of course. She names people like Kevin Weeks, James Bulger, others who were a part of what was the Winter Hill Gang. She talks about people like Ron DeSantis and Nancy Mace, Andrew McCabe, a person named Robert A. Murray that she claims to have worked for in 1998 at the Bank of Boston. I did a video on that showing the connections that led all the way to the purchase of Donald Trump's Trump Princess yacht back decades ago. You can go watch that. So I'm starting to realize that the points of clarity that this person talks about, Christine Constantino, the specifics she's able to give, but then the total lapses of time and the confusion and forgetfulness, maybe it's because, like William Sasha Riley and many other victims, she was in a constant state of inducement, which in the long run affected her ability to remember things, and maybe things she can't remember or recall for the rest of her life. Maybe that's a possibility. And I want to point out something. This was sent from Christine Constantino And it was also, as you'll notice, sent to two Supreme Court justices here. It was sent to a Robert Sobelman. And in turn, he sent this on to a Kristen Warden with the FBI. Now, why is this important that Robert Sobelman sent this to the FBI? Because the top lawyer for Goldman Sachs resigns over these revelations. CEO David Solomon said Thursday that Kathy Rumler, the investment banking company's top lawyer, will resign after the Department of Justice released its remaining files connected to Jeffrey Epstein, revealing a close relationship between the two. The files showed that Rumler and Epstein communicated with each other between 2014 and 19. And there are dates given by this Christine Constantino right around 2014 as well, when she says she was part of this ring that included Donald Trump, including a call Epstein made when he was arrested in 2019. Communications revealed in the DOJ documents caused controversy across Europe, and you can pause and read the rest. So, who is Robert Sobelman that received this account from Christine Constantino? Well, as of the end of 2025, Goldman Sachs had tapped Robert Sobelman, prosecutor on the scrapped U.S. corruption case against Eric Adams, which you'll remember the Trump administration controversially ended, right? To run investigations at the bank. Now, sources close to Sobelman saying he's going to join the David Solomon-led lender imminently. Robert is leaving and going to run investigation at Goldman, said one senior source briefed on the matter. It is part of a recent exodus in the Southern District of New York. Now, I want to say something really quick. In the document sent to him that he forwarded to Kristen Warden at the FBI by Christine Constantino, she talks about working at the Bank of Boston. So Goldman Sachs, Bank of Boston, eventually has all merged into Bank of America. So, and these are giants, right? So is there something going on behind the scenes that this former federal prosecutor is now working for Goldman Sachs, which is a banking institution? Are things being looked into regarding this account from Christine Constantino? Because Kristen Warden is currently the senior trial counsel for the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission Enforcement Division, and her experience speaks for itself. Maybe it's because the account of Christine Constantino has credibility. Maybe a former federal prosecutor who's now working for Goldman Sachs or going to work for Goldman Sachs as their primary banking investigation officer, forwarding this on to a decorated and very credible person within the FBI, which is protocol anyway, I'm sure. Maybe these people are working on things that we aren't privy to. And I know we all, from time to time, me as well, lose a lot of hope thinking that these people are just going to be able to get away with everything, but they're not. A lot of these people are resigning. A lot of these people are going away. Now, I understand they're not being arrested, but the shift has happened. It is the beginning. There is going to be justice. There is far too many revelations and far too much pushback on the DOJ's failure to abide by the law that we will never stop pushing this. We will never stop talking about this until justice is served. In whatever way that comes, whatever form that takes, it is going to happen. Because all of us are going to help make sure it happens. And that's why I do this. I don't get paid to do this. I do this because I have to do this. I can't read what I'm reading and know what I know and just sit by and not say anything and spread this information. And I hope you'll spread it too. Peace out.